Welcome to Your Untamed Life, the podcast bringing you stories of transformation, growth, fear, success, alignment, challenges, and more, with the intention to inspire you and light you up to find your own aligned path of transformation and let it unfold in front of you without letting fear hold you back. I'm Amanda Petra, your host and passionate human being. Without further ado, let's get started. Hello, Sasha. Welcome. How are you?
Great, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So glad to have you here and so excited to hash into the details of your story. This podcast episode is all about you. And, I don't actually know your story, so I'm excited to let it unfold as we do this live. So I'd just love to start with, where you're at now, what do you do, and who would you say you are? It doesn't have to just be about what you do.
So I am a virtual assistant coach and an online business coach. And I also run a very successful virtual assistant management business where we support business owners across the country. So that particular business only started 2 years ago tomorrow. So we're coming up to our second anniversary, which is exciting. And it has grown, changed, morphed exponentially in the last 2 years. And I still pinch myself that I'm here. And then it was probably about 4 months into that, I decided to branch out into coaching and share the strategies and the processes that I developed in my business to then be able to allow other women to create businesses of their own and generate income for themselves and their families.
Amazing. So what was drawing you to the coaching so quickly too, after 4 months?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it. There was just something calling me to be like, there's got to be something more. So in my past corporate career, which was hospitality and events, and I spent 20 odd years in hotels, which took a dive when COVID happened. And we were the first hotel that went into quarantine in the country. So that was that history. But as devastating as it was for the entire world, it was for myself a bit of a blessing. I did have a year of a rocky kind of in and out of other jobs because I really, wasn't finding where I was at. When I started my business, it happened really quickly. And it was because I met up with a girl that I used to know in the industry. I got my first client in 24 hours. I was booked out within 3 weeks. It took me a couple of months to realize that this is actually quite unique. Business isn't normally a journey like this. A lot of people don't go all in after the first week. Mm. In the past, I was always jealous of a lot of my friends that had husbands and everything that could just go all in and give these businesses a try. I'm a single mum. I had a mortgage, and there was just something that was urging me to do it. I could also see that there were a lot of leads. So I think, like I said, 4 months into it, it was, how do I support other people to do this? I've always wanted to do meaningful work and actually make a bigger impact. So there's always been something that's driving me. And then I found out about business coaches and all these different coaches, and that's what I want to do. And because I had gone through business that quickly, and I could prove time and time again that, I had the ability to secure clients, maintain them for long term, that I actually had something unique to share.
Yeah, that's fascinating. How do you think that it grew so quickly for you? Is it the industry, the VA industry, or was it just your timing, or what do you think was that?
I think it was actually, one, I worked out where the clients were. That's super important. Mm-hmm. And then I just showed up there every single day. Mm-hmm. So it was about consistency and knowing where they were. So every single day I was responding to leads. Every single day I was looking for leads, which then turned into, every single week pitching to about 4 or 5 people. And because I had the vast number of people that I could pitch to, I could be really picky about who I worked with. So waiting for those clients that were aligned, waiting for the clients that valued my prices, not just taking any clients that came through. Mm-hmm. So I worked that out really early on. And then I was just like, people need to know this. People need to know where they are. There is actually plenty of leads to go around. And, I have people come into my programs that have a couple of clients, but they've been sitting with that couple of clients for 6, 12 months. And they're like, I just can't get any more clients. Mm-hmm. And then I've been able to prove through my coaching and following the strategies that I've created is it actually can be really easy to find clients and learn how to speak to them properly and convert them into paying clients.
That's interesting. So where did you find them consistently? And was it in people in your network, in your old job?
No, none of my first few clients, well, one of my clients was, and it was a friend because she was running her own business. So I subcontracted to her, but she was probably number 2. The other one was a referral from somebody else that I knew, and everybody else I found on Facebook groups. So when I found out about the industry, my friend said, oh, I'll just add you to some of their virtual assistant groups. You can kind of get a feel for it. And then I just started hanging out in those groups, and then I branched out to business groups. I branched out to community groups. I branched out to business mum groups, and just soon realized that people just really want social proof. They want to work with people that other people recommended. That's where everyone was hanging out. So now I'm literally just in those groups every single day, seeing what leads are around. And that strategy has served me all the way up until today, that we can still, get discovery calls every single week if we choose to.
Yeah. So you're just messaging and commenting on people that are like, I need a VA, or they're like someone that's just in business being like, I don't know what I need. Someone else.
Sometimes a bit of both, but I haven't had to spend any money on marketing the business. I haven't had to do any cold outreach. We actually haven't sent any EDMs out from that business. We just do social media now, and it's predominantly word of mouth. And then when people want the leads, so we don't go out and create this demand or go cold calling to these companies that we want to work with. I'd say 85% come from the Facebook groups where somebody says, I need a VA.
Amazing.
So there's already the need there.
Yeah. The need is so high for your industry. I feel like it's really, really good.
Yeah.
And I love that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's right. I was going to say, even more so post-COVID, there are more businesses starting every single day. And the first hire is always a VA, because they're just like, I just want a couple of hours. I'm too busy. I'm sitting at home on my own. Who can help me? It's generally always a VA. So there's, even more demand being created every single day.
Yeah. There's hundreds of businesses being started every day, I swear, or thousands. So good that COVID was a blessing for you. Which hotel were you working in? Which one was the first one to go into lockdown?
Voco on the Gold Coast.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah. So
interesting that it was in Gold Coast that it first went to lockdown.
Yeah, I don't know why it was. I think they were kind of one of the last to leave as well. So it was to about 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Or something like that they were in quarantine. I mean, not a bad spot to spend your quarantine if that's where you got put. I know that some people got put in, a lot worse hotels. So the hotel had just been refurbished, a couple of years before, and it was a nice experience for them. But yeah, I certainly don't think that I would have liked to have been in 4 walls for 14 days.
No, not at all. It's terrible what happened to everyone. And I worked in hotels, and I loved that industry too. We had times though where we had refugees coming to live in our hotels, and it was like the Syrian crisis. It was really interesting, but it was the same, they're living in 4 walls. They weren't trapped there, but it was just so hard to watch them have to live in those small rooms after everything.
Yeah, sure.
Working in that industry was so eye-opening. Just hotels were so cool, weren't they?
Yeah, I did enjoy them. Yeah.
We got to meet so many cool people. I was on front desk. Where are you working, like management?
I'd worked in every department. So I'd started off in food and beverage, and I moved to the front office, and then I got accepted into the management program with a course. So then I trained as a manager in every department, and then really kind of found my love in events and sales. So yeah, I'd done it all. But you're right. When I was on the front desk, the amount of people that we met, famous people checking in, all of that was that
was the best.
It was really fun.
And like people from like the food department would be like, are they here yet? Like just come down and be like, can we meet them too?
Exactly what it was like, for sure.
So fun. Loved it. I just wanted to ask that because like you didn't seem to have any of the internal like fears and stuff while you were addressing these calls and like having all those leads come in all of a sudden. And I think that's huge. I think everyone not everyone, clearly you didn't, but most people start off with that, I've gotten 1 lead and that's all I can handle right now type of blockage. Do you have any like recommendations or any like insight into maybe how you gathered that internal strength?
I think it was probably because I just have to make this work. Like I'd quit my job and went all in. I'm the only earner in my household. So, and I've got, a 3.5-year-old now. So it's just like, I have to make this work. And I'm taking a jump, and I've never taken a big risk like this in my entire life. And I've got a mortgage to pay as well. Like I have to every single day show up for myself. So there wasn't a question of, I'm just going to sit here and enjoy not working. I just had to hustle.
Yeah.
every single day. So nothing really came over me to be like, oh, I don't really want to do this. This is hard. It was just like, and I think it was because it was so exciting. The whole concept of just being at home, living life on my terms, that's what was exciting for me. So it's just like, this is actually really cool. I feel like, you kind of like feel like a grown up.
Yeah.
It's that kind of emotion. I'm like, oh, I'm actually a business owner. This is actually happening.
Yes.
So it's just really kind of feeling into it and be like, I actually love this feeling. I love the fact that if I do want to go and pick up my daughter early every day, I can. And I do love the fact that I'm not driving to work. So there's just so many positives that if I actually make this work, it's great. And in the beginning, did I think that I'd be here 2 years later? No, my goal was just to replace my income. I'd done that in 3 weeks. And I'm like, okay, well, what's next?
Wow.
And then once I replaced my income in 3 weeks, then it was just like, okay, what's the next milestone? And then once I got to 6 weeks, I was just like, how cool would it be if I had more of me?
Yeah.
And then we just started kind of duplicating, and then the business grew from there. So it was just more of I could see growth potential.
Definitely. Do you feel like there was anything that like helped you build that resilience to just being like, well, fuck, I have to get through this and I have to do it, like way back in your future or your past? Sorry.
I think I've always been someone that you get to make things happen for yourself. Like, don't sit there and wait for life to happen. Like, I had my daughter on my own because I didn't want to wait to get to a point of meeting the right guy, then actually being in a spot in my life to be able to have kids and then have, my biological clock say, no, you can't. So I took that into my own hands because I wanted to have a child. I didn't want to be an old mum. So I did that. So I'm very much have always been that just have to make it happen. If you want to go on holidays, you need to make the money to get to that holiday. So I had, really high goals and really high expectations of myself. So I think it was very much, well, what's the next goal? What's the next goal? What's the next goal?
Oh, that is badass. Good on you. Seriously, I've never heard of you do that. That's so cool. Like, no kidding. That is just your personality then. You just have it. I would love to be like coached by you at this point. Teach more people to be like that from the get-go, because we're just not all wired like that. That's fascinating. Really, really cool. I would love to know more about your story, like before and like when you were younger, anything like that helped you get to, obviously this is like a personality trait, but is there anything that you developed over the years?
I think there was always a sense of responsibility, a sense of maturity. We lived in two separate houses. So some of the things that, we used to do, there's no way like I could imagine my daughter doing it. So my dad lived in Zurich when I was 5, and my brother and I went on a plane on our own all the way over to Zurich.
Oh my gosh.
As unaccompanied minors when I was 5. So, all of those things I think have really, one, enabled me to kind of do anything or just go anywhere and work it out. We were very fortunate and we kind of lived, 2 very different lives. So, whereas in one family, we would take holidays, but it would kind of be driving a couple of hours away. Whereas like with my dad and my brother, we would always be traveling overseas and skiing, and, it was 2 very different type of households. So, trying to find the balance between those, but being 5 and going all the way to Switzerland, and we did it twice with a stopover in Singapore and just roaming around the airport. Like I even said to my dad the other day, how did we even know it was time to go back to the room to then go onto the plane? Like we wouldn't have had watches back then. I was 5.
Yeah.
But we did it.
Couldn't even use a watch probably when you're 5.
I have no idea. So I think that I've kind of had a lot of experiences quite early on. And then even it came time to being an early teenager that my dad said, well, there's no point me always driving up to come and get you anymore, because it used to take a couple of hours in traffic. So then my brother and I used to jump on the train to go and see him in Sydney to spend the weekend with him. I was always the responsible one because my brother would always fall asleep, even though I was the youngest. And I'm just like, oh, we have to change you. You have to wake up. So like I've kind of always had that kind of a bit of motherly kind of responsible, making sure that you kind of follow the rules sort of thing. So I feel like that's kind of.
Yeah, you got the 2 of you to Zurich. Sorry. Yeah.
There was one time that the airline hostess came in and said, oh, is he your brother? Like at the time it's got to go. I'm like, we got to go. Without fail, he would sleep everywhere. And maybe that is why I thrive so much in hotels, because hotels is very much a disciplined type of corporate role. You've got to wear your jacket when you go into the lobby. Some hotels that I worked at, you had to wear a bun. All of those things are very much fitting into that mold of, following the rules. especially if you're working in luxury, maybe that's why I thrive so much in that environment, because, I had that kind of instilled in me from such a young age. Never really kind of looked at it like that. So
Yeah.
thanks for that perspective on it for me.
No worries. That's why we're here. That's probably really true. And I was going to say, like, you just really fit that hotel vibe, like the hotel corporate vibe. Like, I loved it, but I'm always the one that rebels against the let's wear suits all day and, let's do everything in like perfect fashion. I was like, I'm going to bring personality to this, and no one likes that.
Yeah, but it's been a journey the last 2 years to kind of unlearn some of those corporates, or, that it's okay to show up on Zoom in your hoodie when you're talking to clients that have been with you for a couple of years, whereas in the past, I would always be like, I better put my jacket on, better do my makeup, all of those things. Definitely some unlearning of behaviors as well in the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's hard to let go of. And even I have that. I really have that. And I'm really a person that's really casual. Like, I'm always in a hoodie that's like oversized, and my hair is wet. But like, I really just like to show up in a certain way, and I carry myself in a certain way when I'm in a work situation. And then it's weird. It's hard to unlearn that completely. And you just like so stuck in a box kind of thing that you just didn't know that it was created for you. Yeah.
Right.
But it serves you well in the long run, to be honest. It's better to better to unlearn it, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's good to have those boundaries and to have some sort of standards that you show up for yourself as well. I think that's really important.
Yeah. I did always try and rebel against it, but yeah, I'm very much like, there's rules, I will follow the rules. And then my other brain goes, no. We're like, my artistic brain's like, no, draw outside the lines. Yeah. In a weird way. Why would the artistic one draw outside the lines? I don't know. Good art is outside the lines, I guess. Exactly. But yeah, amazing. It's so cool. Like, just the way that you are. And like, I cannot believe your dad was just like, here, come to Switzerland as a 5-year-old. No kidding that you have the strength within you, like to your core.
Yeah, definitely in my blood.
Yeah, it is. And so what does he do? Does he do something similar to you? Does he run a business? Is that why he moved back and forth?
Yeah, in a past life he did. Not anymore. Getting on a little bit in age, and unfortunately doesn't work anymore. But he was a software consultant. So he used to contract to, big banks and things like that. So he lived in Zurich for a couple of years. He lived in Florida for a couple of years. So we were very lucky that we could go and, stay with him for long periods of time when he, lived overseas, and go and travel around. And we went to Austria and France. And when he lived in Florida, we got to go to Florida as well. So yeah, it was quite an exciting time. And I'm sure he thoroughly enjoyed the career that he had when he was consulting as a business owner as well.
Yeah, that sounds really exciting for him. And like, really good to like example, like you can consult, you can do these big things, you can, reach your own goals yourself and do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Love it. So do you have any tips on how to grow with hiring yourself? So how many people are working under you right now?
I think we've gone to 12.
Damn.
We have a hybrid team. So we have a couple of employees, the rest are contractors. And yeah, who knows where it's going to go, or how big we'll grow, but that's we're happy with that for the moment. But I guess any advice would just be to realize that business is a long game, and I still need to remind myself every single day, because sometimes when you grow so fast as well, it's just like, well, where else can I grow? But then sometimes things don't speed up as quickly as you want them to. So it's about stopping and reflecting, and even thinking, well, what I've done is actually incredible already, acknowledging that and feeling into that. And then just being with it rather than getting disheartened. Normally we should always look at the future, but sometimes we look back in the past and, see where we've come, and just keep on taking one foot in step of the other. It's a long game, and we just need to keep on taking the bold moves to get the actions that we need.
Yeah, it's a great summary. It is the hardest to reflect on your own business and your own success. I had to write out like on my whiteboard too, being like, I've done this and this and this, because you forget, because you're just like on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. Yeah. That's all you need is hindsight. So I guess like the masterminds and such are a good place for that. Has that been helping you, the one that you're in now?
Yeah, definitely speaking with people and surrounding yourself with people that have been there in the stages of business that you're going to. Getting advice from people that have already walked the line and learning from them, because we can't learn everything all the time. And, you can't always, go and sit and do a course on like Facebook ads, or sit there and, on a marketing strategy. So sometimes, working with a business coach can actually really propel your business forward, because they've done all the things and they can actually tell you what hasn't worked.
Yeah.
which I think that is actually really cool and really quite potent to speak to people that have done the hard yards already. And I honestly feel that investing in a coach has shifted the business forward. I, as you know, did NLP last year, and that was really about self-reflection, but also how I can show up as better as a coach. And that essentially doubled my business. And then moving into another coaching container with another business coach has essentially doubled the business again. Mm-hmm. Could I have done that on my own? Potentially, but not as quick.
Definitely much slower, yeah.
Learning from the experts.
Yeah. Yeah, they give you all the shortcuts. They tell you what didn't work, what does work, and what would work for you. They probably have that perspective too, to be like, well, for your business and for you specifically, try this. Like, huge. It's interesting how there's literally no roadmap for business. Like, literally, there's no roadmap for it. What are we even doing?
Yeah. Every person's business is different as well.
Yeah.
And I do like the fact that, you know, a tailored approach, especially in the mastermind that I'm in, it's very much about, well, what's going to work in my business. And the fact that those experts understand my business inside and out to be able to give those suggestions, the templates, the worksheets, any number of things that they provide. It's because they get my business and know it inside and out, which I think makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's huge. And then you're all making the same decisions from the same place, which is good.
Yeah, for sure.
Really cool. Amazing. I would actually love to learn more about what you did in NLP. So obviously it's like a deep dive into yourself so you can support others. Describe it, please, if you could.
Yeah, it's an unusual thing to describe and explain, but it's very much about learning how to move past limiting beliefs and programming that we've had through our childhood that we've believed, that we know. You know, there's a lot about showing up for yourself and actually trusting yourself and realizing that you actually get to choose what you do with your life, and your life is not hand out for you. We don't all have this path that we have to follow. We can change course at any time. And it's also about just knowing that we can actually create anything that we want to. And I think a lot of the things that come up for a lot of people time and time again that you do get to learn how to move past is the whole, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, angry, sad, any number of things, any number of emotions around certain things that we do in our life. It really kind of supports you to work out exactly who you are and how you can see past that. What I found really beneficial, not only to work on myself, which is super important, especially if you're in business, you need to show up for yourself, to show up for your business, to show up for your team and your clients, is now I have a lot more knowledge and modalities and knowledge to support my clients. Because when you're coaching in business, you're not just coaching them on strategy, you're also coaching them personally. Because everybody gives so much to their business, and, you know, mindset comes up for them, jump on the call and they're like, I just don't want to do it today. And then you can talk them through and actually get them to a place of being in their body and knowing that they just need to make a choice to do the thing that they don't want to do. To me, that's become super powerful, and that has really supported the people that I coach, because 9 times out of 10, the second that they pay for their coaching program, they sit in this, oh, am I nervous? Am I excited? What's happening? You know, a little like the self-doubt comes over them. Can I actually do that? There's all of those things. And I love the fact that I get to support them in that space as well. They need to kind of go through that journey and to be supported and held to then be able to show up in their business. And I feel like if you're not supporting them through that, then a lot of times they'll actually go into that fight or flight and then not show up and do the program. And that's the best thing that can actually happen, especially if somebody has invested money to work with you, that you can support them on that sort of level as well.
Yeah, that's a really great way to put it. And I love the level of care you have there for them. That is the hardest. It would be so sad if they didn't show up for their course. And I think we've all maybe been there, where you go into a course and you just start like backing away and you don't know why you're backing away. And all you need to really do is show up that one time to go in again and again. But there's just so much like of being human already. I feel like that's holding us back. And then you just start stressing about your business and you just start going, nope, I can't do it and I don't want to do it. And you just like start retreating. It's so fascinating. Honestly, just don't feel like you needed NLP because you were already so strong in yourself. So what do you what did you have to uncover there?
It's quite interesting because I went into NLP thinking it was business coaching.
Okay.
I'd never heard of it before. I didn't know what it was for, but it changed everything. And what I discovered and what I learned with, and that changed my business, is just do everything and come back to your highest value. And if your highest value is love, do everything with love. Support your clients with love. Don't jump on a sales call and think, I need to sell this person because I need money. It's, I get to help this person. And actually just having a soul-led business and knowing that I do get to help people, and I get to jump on these calls and actually know deep down in my body that I'm here to serve that person and I'm there to help that person, rather than I'm here to make a sale today.
Yeah.
That's what changed everything for me, because that's where the impact piece comes into it. And then it takes away that attachment to money. Just about the impact and about the help and the support that I can give other people to show them that there is actually another way to, one, live their life, and two, earn money that they need to survive and, you know, service their family. So that was probably one of my biggest key takeaways, amongst so many other things. So it might sound like that, but I was probably getting to that point in my business where I needed the mindset work. Yes, in the beginning, I just kept on going. But there's always these mountains and things in business that you need to overcome. And I didn't realize that I needed that.
Yeah.
And then when I did it, I was just like, oh, okay, cool. I get it now. And I get that it's actually a choice. So if you're sitting here in the fight or flight, the only person that can change it is you.
Yeah.
That was powerful enough for me.
That's huge, huge. And I feel like we all go into business with that intention of, you know, impact, reach, and giving people and serving people and all of that. But then, yeah, all, you know, the bills start coming in, or you end up in one of those dips that you go with business. Like, it's usually a dip in business and then a dip in emotions.
Yeah.
And we just get so just cloudy vision, and we just can't go into a sales call with that heart-led kind of direction. So that's really good that you kind of build like a much more solid foundation for you to go into those calls with. Interesting. So interesting. I love that. I've heard people say that too before about the love. Like, if you want to lead with love, lead with love. But yeah, you just get so caught up in everything you can. So yeah, I'm going to have to do NLP very soon.
Yeah, I know we've spoken about it before, but yeah, I think it's great. I think everyone.
Yeah.
Go and learn about yourself and then how you can help others.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was thinking about it then, and then I ended up finding things that supported me in similar ways and kind of moved me the way I needed to be moved then. And I always knew when the time was right that the NLP would come, because I've been just uncovering layers and layers of things as well as I've been doing business, and I've been getting support, which is good. So it's been like uncover, heal, uncover, heal. Yeah, and I'm like, all right, now we're gonna go to NLP and just dig even deeper. It's gonna be even crazy.
Dig deeper and get rid of it forever.
Yeah, that actually sounds really good. Yeah, like I just saw those videos of everyone crying. It was really cool.
Yeah, I didn't think that I would cry, and then like first day I'm like, it's too hard.
Yeah,
it was a journey for me because my daughter was sick the first few days as well, so trying to do that whilst being in the room was just threw a whole nother layer onto the experience for me.
Yeah, for sure. Did you have someone taking care of her while you were there? And
yeah, I really lucky. My parents are in Kangaroo Point, so not too far away, so they supported on the weekend, and then I had a babysitter during the week. But it was the fact that she was sent home from daycare for a temperature, and when they sent home, they're banned for 24 hours. I was really lucky. They were nice and accommodating, and I did the one day from Zoom from home. So everything worked out in the end, but it's just always, oh my God, the world's crashing down. What am I going to do? I can't do day 2, any number of those things.
I feel like that's just like the universe being like, you need this extra layer, just so you know. Like, we're just going to give you more of this NLP stuff. Like, just
make it, because it's just going to make you a better person and know that you can overcome anything. So you're right. I think sometimes as much as it seems like this big, huge disaster, sometimes the universe does kind of show us things that we need to see, that everything always works out in the end.
Yeah, it works out how it's meant to, even if it's not how we want it. I love it. Okay, so were there like any specific large roadblocks that you've gone through with your business that were very challenging that we could talk about?
I think it was very much knowing where I needed to put my energy and where the love was. So I knew that I wanted to coach, and I kept on being drawn back into the virtual assistant business because that's where the clients were coming. I guess you'd say compared to going and converting somebody into coaching, it was easy because I'd done it for longer. So it was about, well, how do I change that over into coaching? And I was noticing that I wasn't as satisfied by doing the work that I was by coaching. and managing the team. So managing the team I love, helping them service the clients, helping them grow, that drives me now. Sitting there and being admin to somebody else, so now doesn't serve me like it does with coaching. And coaching, it's the impact piece for me. What difference can I make in these people's lives? And with the team, they get to make that with the other clients. And then it was taking advice from lots of different people outside of the business realm that was getting me stuck in that place. And then I wasn't enjoying it anymore. That's what happened for me in this coaching container that I'm in, is very much you just need to do what you love. You just need to show up for that every single day, and then you'll be doing it every single day. And now I'm probably about 90% there.
Yeah, cool.
Whereas 4 months ago, I was still 100% in the VA business. So that's what shifted to me. And it's really working out what is aligned with you and actually doing what you love. And even when you change, just have your business change with you. So the second I started to alleviate what I was doing in the VA business, give the team more to support, and they wanted more anyway, so it was a win-win for everybody, that's when things started changing coaching. People started to come into the containers. So, the last 3 months, we've sold it every single month. So going from, maybe coaching one-on-one every now and then to only 4 months later having booked out containers every single month, that's what changed for me, because I started putting the energy into what I loved.
Incredible. Yeah. That's an incredible message. That's all we want to be doing, right? I can definitely feel that too, that shift of like, I love doing the things, that's what's serving me right now. And then, well, now I want to help people in this way or a different way. It doesn't even have to be coaching or anything, but yeah, just move along with what feels good. And you evolve so quickly as an entrepreneur, and like, no shit that in 4 months you were like, well, I want to do something else now.
Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Maybe big events on stage of thousands of people. I'm not sure. Like, I've just, got events going on, got ideas happening in my head all the time. It's just like, then how do you put that into practice, but then feel into what that feels like? So, in 6 months, is it going to be creating a team of coaches then to support the clients? So many ways that the direction the business can take. And what's super exciting is I just get to decide when to change it at any time.
So did you find it challenging at all to start letting go of work to your team? Maybe even at the beginning, because maybe not now. But yeah, like if you had clients that you were working with and you're giving away their work, how was that feeling for you? It's
something I still struggle with every single day. And what I've learned in the last couple of months is done is better than perfect. And in the past, I was like, well, it has to be perfect. And I would, get frustrated if it wasn't perfect. But actually realizing that no one is going to do it 100% the way that I've done it, because it's physically impossible. We're all human. We all think differently. We all do different traits. So if the team do it 95%, I'm starting to learn that that's actually okay. By them doing it 95%, it allows me to do amazing things over here. And then it allows them more ownership, gives them more stability. And then it's, back to that circle. Whereas if I'm frustrated at them not getting to that 100% and on at them, like, that's not a healthy, succinct relationship. It's still a learning piece, and still every single day I go through that battle. It's just like, do I need to say something? Is it actually okay? And 9 times out of 10 now it's actually okay. Like, I didn't have to do it. They've done a really great job. Let's move on.
I love that. So is there any tips you could give us for managing a team potentially? So since you are a VA and you know processes very well, I would love to just dig into that.
Communication is key. I have a really open book policy with my team. If they need me, I can jump on a Zoom call. We do talk about our personal life as well. I used to have this thing in the corporate world as you leave your home life at the door. And I think the lines are blurred now, and we actually need to care about our people. We need to know and understand what's happening in their life to know if, they can't show up for work one day, that they're actually okay. Because I care about the people that I work with, and I want them to stay with the business for a long term. And the people that come into the business, they need to have the vision that I have. And if they come in and they're just running their own race and they're not here for the mission, then they're not the right people to work with us. But we always, at the start of all of our staff meetings, we go around and we ask, how are we feeling in the business out of 5 and how are we feeling personal out of 5? And I love the fact that now that I've done NLP, that I can support them on a personal and emotional level as well as at a business level as well. And I'm there to support them in whatever that might be. And I get told from my team, they're like, I love that I can just talk to you about this. I love that I can tell you that I can't show up this morning because this is happening in my life. Whereas in our corporate lives, we were probably like, oh my gosh, I'm going to feel so guilty picking up the phone and say I'm calling in sick. I was one of those people that would, before COVID, would go into work sick just so that they would actually believe me, because I'm worried that they're all going to be there. Oh, she's not actually sick, or she went out last night, or, any stories that I think they're going to say. Actually, know what's happening with my team. So, if they do call and say that they can't show up, I generally know why, generally a legitimate reason. So really having that open communication, I think, holds a lot of ground, and they feel comfortable. Everyone's just really open with each other, and the communication is key.
Yeah, amazing. Leading in that heart-led kind of way.
Exactly.
Really the only way to do it nowadays. And it is interesting how I've hired people and had worked with people, and they're just so surprised when you ask them how they are. And they're just like, oh my God, what world do you live in? We need to do this more. Yeah.
I actually care about them. I want to know what's happening in their lives.
Yeah.
Even more so, half of them I've never met before. Because they're in different parts of the world and the country. Most of the people, are in Australia, but I think half of the team are here in Queensland, but others are in Sydney and Melbourne. And I've never met them. And I think it's so much more important to have that personal connection with them, to kind of get rid of that screen that's in front of us. It's like I feel that some of my team, I've known them for years, we've actually never met in real life. And I think that that's really cool. And it shows that we've just got those connections because we talk about things, we communicate, and we built such a good relationship that we don't need to see each other in real life to know that we work really well together. Yeah, that's so fascinating. I love it. I love that approach. So good. So you Zoom with them, and how do you usually pass work along to them? We use ClickUp, task management system. We use a lot of voice notes as well. So if it's something that needs a little bit more clarity, it goes into ClickUp so that they know it's there. And then I send a voice and say, hey, I've just put this in ClickUp. Here's just a little bit of a background on it. Let me know if you've got any questions. Yeah, cool. And that seems to work. And then we do one-on-ones. Well, I do one-on-ones with the team every single month just to really get a feel for, how the month has gone. We do a team meeting every fortnight with the core team. If we have contractors that just do a couple of hours a week, obviously there's no need for them to jump onto those staff meetings, but it's really just kind of that core team just as a sense check. And I think it's great for them to talk about what they're doing with their clients, because sometimes it is so segregated because they all have different clients that they work with. And some of them overlap on clients as well. So it's kind of cool to jump on and talk about what they've been doing for the last couple of weeks. So then other people in the team can really get a feel for what's happening in the business. Otherwise, everyone just stays in their own lane. Yeah. And they just feel sheltered or segregated. Yeah, they're like, oh, I don't even understand what anyone else does in the business, which I think is super weird. So it's like, how do we bring that together to share? And then I try and share as much as I can about the business, and we always celebrate our wins and everything like that. If we had a really great week, I'm on Friday afternoon jumping into the group chat. Hey guys, biggest week ever, celebrate yourselves. I'm so grateful for you. I think that's really important to share all of those wins with them rather than just sitting here as the business owner, with all of that information. It wouldn't have happened without them. So it's so important to share those wins with them every time it happens. Yeah, definitely. If only the corporate world was like that now, even now. Wouldn't it be nice? Your boss being like, look, this is what's happened. You've actually moved us toward this needle, instead of being like, I'm up in my lair, kind of just looking down on you. Exactly. So good. I would actually, you spoke about it just a minute ago, but I would love to know, what is in mind for your business? What's the future looking like? You want to stand on stages, but what is it? Building an empire. Yeah, exactly. Looking to expand the coaching. We've just launched our high-level coaching container. So for any virtual assistant businesses that are really looking to scale up, double their business, essentially take them from 5K months to 10K months in a short space of 6 months. So really kind of propelling their business to the next level. That's really what we're focusing at the moment, to really support those business owners in the next level. And then, taking it out to the greater public and putting on conferences, events, any number of things. What that looks like, we're still working through, but I've gone through speaker training and presence on stage and things like that. So that really then provides that bigger impact out to everyone. So there's definitely that. Retreats would be really great, to take small amount of groups of people, work on strategies to developing their business. So definitely a lot more in-person, real life events coming up. I love that. Amazing. I'm going to come to the Gold Coast one day if you do a retreat. Yeah. Yes. Hello, we'd love to have you. Yeah, cool. I definitely have to visit there. I haven't actually been there. So you're in Perth. Yeah, I've never been to Perth either. Now you've never been in Perth. Oh, never been to Perth. Never been to WA.
Oh my God. You have base in my house if you want to come.
Thank you.
You can bring your
I
child.
love it.
I do have a dog. Hopefully she likes dogs.
I'm scared, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, he will lick her like face, but it's fine. It's so funny. But that's so cool. I love your plans for the future. Really, really cool. Amazing. I honestly can I can picture you standing up on stage and doing all of that.
Oh, amazing.
So is there anything I just want to cover more? I always get into this when we're in a podcast. I'm like, let's just keep talking. We've covered everything.
Talk all day.
Maybe could we just leave everyone with some like one insight or one good piece of inspiration that you've gotten that you'd love to share and leave your listeners with?
Sure. Show up for yourself.
Yeah.
Show up for your business every single day and step one foot into the other. And remember, the business is a long game. I know it sounds cliche, but Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is your business. But if you show up with the love and tenacity that you have for your business, it will fall into place. And just take bold action every single day.
Beautiful. That's all I actually needed to hear too. So
That I could be of service.
Yeah, we just end up with our heads down so much and we're all in our own little world that is all you really need to remember. It's a long game. And I feel like you mean, show up on the days that you work, but also take days off, enjoy your life, but you just show up with like the tenacity, the full energy and the full love. It doesn't seem to go wrong then if you do that.
Exactly.
Amazing. Great advice. Love it. So how can people find you to work with you, work with your team, work with you in coaching online? Would be good to know. So
website is www.sashaeburne.com. For Instagram, it's @SashaEburne__. And for the virtual assistant business, it's www.virtuallyassisted.com.au. Or on Instagram, virtuallyassistedau. Amazing. Do you have any offers coming up soon? Any coaching and courses? Yeah, I mean, we've got our launch package at the moment for the VA Way Academy. So that's by application. So they can certainly reach out if they're looking to level up their virtual assistant business. And then, if they wanted some free information, I've currently got a really great checklist online, and it's really about how to take your business to 10K months. So definitely jump onto the website and download that. Yeah, cool. I will link to that below the show. Thank you. Oh, good. Thank you so much for being here. It was amazing to hear your story, and I just loved watching it unfold. I cannot believe you're just such a powerhouse. Fucking killer. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for being here, and I will chat with you in DMs probably, but thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so freaking grateful to have shared this space with you today. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, I would absolutely love it if you join me on Instagram. I'd love to connect in the DMs and chat all things transformation. Hear some of your stories, your journey. It would be so, so cool. It would also mean the world to me if you did just click the little follow bell on Spotify or head over to Apple Podcasts and leave a quick review. With your help, we can help more people feel the incredible depths of transformation through stories and teaching shared here. And, please remember, you can do anything you hear here too. It is not for just other people to do. You can do it too. Thank you so much, gorgeous soul. See you on the next episode.